let's start the show. Oh, yeah. Well, cheers, my good man.
We're back. I say I'm back.
You're back. Judd is gone.
I got a call the other day. She's got a baby in them guts, and I've been praying.
It's a little cold in this here studio, hence the beanie over the fucking hat. But
We're trying to get the feeling for everyone going on Saturday.
that's right. Yeah, we're trying to show support for the fans and the team. Judd is not here today. He is currently taking down the Christmas lights at the Morton Arboretum. So we're gonna not have him today, possibly not next week. And honestly, it was really difficult to put this together today because Henry has to work early. I work. I had to leave work early and to do this, and we had to kind of figure something out.
Crazy work schedule.
There's no way that we couldn't put out something for
Bears week.
the third time in NFL history, the Bears and the Packers in the playoffs. The third time ever. By the way, how wild is that? Over 100 fucking years.
I know.
Does it make any sense?
No, it doesn't.
None. And we remember one of the other two times.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't.
But this time it feels a little different. There's so much to talk about. I mean, Jesus
First time
Christ.
the Bears have a better offense than a better defense.
Yeah. That offense, though, unfortunately, sometimes it takes too long to get going. You know, you have even the San Francisco game, it took them a couple fucking drives before they actually did anything. Had it not been for the defense scoring early, you know, and then last week that was just pathetic. It was pitiful. I don't know what to make of that game.
They just kind of just right through.
So I actually guess maybe this is a good way to start off. Looking back at last game before we get into Green Bay. Ben Johnson says, you know, we're playing our starters. I don't know if that was a shot at LaFleur. Who really cares, to be honest? But he's saying, you know, we play football here. But then he puts in a very limited game plan. He puts in no motions on offense, really. It just didn't feel like a normal Ben Johnson offensive game.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was trying to do there.
I don't know either, because then all of a sudden in the fourth quarter, it was like, oh, wait.
Oh, we got to try again. But that shit ain't going to work in the playoffs. I can tell you that. It ain't working against Green Bay. It didn't work against fucking the Lions, you know? Also, what's going on with Tyreek Stevenson? Why is he not playing? Do we have any idea?
I have not heard anything on that.
Well, especially when you saw Wright and you saw Johnson just getting fucking burned up and down the field last week.
That's the problem with Deshaun Wright. He's really great at making turnovers, but when he's not turning the ball over, he's getting shredded.
He's a liability. Let's be honest. Let's call it what it is.
So, ironically, what I like to compare to is Trayvon Diggs. So, if you guys remember,
yeah, I know.
Trayvon Diggs from a few years ago, remember he led the league with like 10 interceptions?
Just slightly.
He also gave up the most touchdowns and most yards in a season from a cornerback.
Yeah.
So, this is just another version of that, and they're wrong. As long as he's making the turnovers, he's fine. But otherwise, he's a liability. So, if you can't count on him for at least a turnover, you're kind of screwed.
Completely agree. He's rough out there. I feel like a zone defense would hide him a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, he can't play a fucking man.
And here's the thing. I know that everyone's hating on Dennis Allen. Dennis Allen's doing what he can with what he's got.
Well, that's part of it, too. Like, the only way we were able to get pressure all year was sending in, like, Gordon on the edge, and then eventually we get CJ, and he does it for a couple weeks.
And if Gordon is back, I know we were worried about him, like, being able to cover zone blitzes. If you run zone, like we were just talking, zone blitzes, Kyler blitzes, then Deshaun will probably be able to play better. Jalen, same thing.
Well, I honestly thought with, like, Brisker healthier this year, because that was kind of his specialty. You know, I thought maybe we'd use him, even if you got to fucking bring him down as a nickel, knowing he's only going to blitz anyways. But, like, I'm confused at what's going on. I guess there's just enough tape out there. People know you're sending in a fucking defensive back on a
Here's
blitz.
another question.
Picking it up.
Edmonds, bench him for DeMarco Jackson.
Man, you know, he was having what looked like a potential Pro Bowl year. He looked like the best he's looked in a Bears uniform, but since he's come back from injury, and this is the thing, it's been across the board. They have the names back on the field, but they're not playing like the names.
And no offense to Edmonds, until this season, this has been his MO his entire career when he was in Buffalo. He's fast, so he makes up for when
He makes mistakes.
he gets beat on a pass play. But when it comes to a run play, he's never been able to defend the run. He always runs past it or doesn't get there quick enough, and then that's why he gets beat. And that's why when they're playing this up the middle, like, think about it, right? The two teams that dominate us the most in terms of, like, really dominating, Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Gibbs.
Yeah.
Running backs you can catch, and that's the guys who Edmonds can't cover.
Well, and on paper that should be the guys he can cover better than anybody else because
You think
TJ Edwards can't.
Yeah.
TJ Edwards, like, I love him. He's a really smart player. He knows where to be, but he's not covering.
And that's why
anybody.
DeMarco Jackson, who is a linebacker who last year and the year before played under Dennis Allen in different systems, different towns, but he's got the speed still and the smarts, being a younger guy who can fill in that role, I think, a little better. I know you got to bench the guy you're paying a lot of money to, but he's a free agent at the end of the year. So would you rather go out losing with the guy who you spent money for, or actually have a chance to win with a linebacker who knows what he's, knows how to cover?
Let's just be, call a spade. Like, this Bears defense is fucking atrocious, and I do not blame Dennis Allen. The only thing I really blame Dennis Allen for specifically last week is just why do you keep calling man? They can't cover. No one can cover. No one can cover in man. You got to run zone.
Jalen, I don't know what happened.
And that's what they did against the Packers, and it was pretty effective. But I don't know. I guess we can move to this because we got to go to the Bears Packers. We could sit on the Lions for a little bit, but let's be honest, everybody's here for the Bears Packers. And I did talk to Judd, and I did get his 2 cents on this. So I will try to do my best to represent Judd in an argument with you here. Now let's just start with: are you picking the Bears or the Packers to win this week?
I am picking the Bears.
And do you want to pick a score?
My final score is 31-27.
Okay, 31-27. So you're picking a close game, a little high scoring.
31-28.
31-28. Okay,
Yeah.
So a 3-point game.
I'm thinking they're going to score 4 tutties. We're going to score 4 tutties, and we're going to win on a nice Cairo Santo field goal.
Okay, Judd, I did have his prediction, and that was Bears 21, Packers 31. So Judd isn't just pessimistic going into this game. He has already decided he can go ahead and make plans for the following Saturday.
He's doing what Ben Johnson told the Colson Lovin. If you already booked your flight for vacation, don't show up.
Yeah, which I have to do an aside on that one because I've been listening to the Lions fans all day, and it's like, what's really fucking funny considering last year's interviewing for jobs during the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's like, so go ahead and straw man the Lions there, but not to get too sidetracked. Judd said this, and I get his line of thinking. He's like, this fucking defense is terrible. It's obviously
so is the Packers.
Terrible. Sure, they're better than the Bears.
Not by much.
But they are better.
Not
They
by much.
are
Without
better.
Micah, they suck.
At least right now. I do think the Bears have a lot of talent on that defense, but they're just not playing like it.
You know what to do? Throw it Nixon, 25. Mr.
Yeah.
Cocky.
Well, he thinks the Bears defense has just been piss poor, which is totally fair. I will say against the Lions, they did break. Or bend, but they didn't break. They did a really good job of holding them to field goals. But his other thing is, what the fuck is going on with the offense? And if you can't count on them to score 28 to 35 fucking points every game,
Yeah.
and hope the defense can get at least a turnover. Probably, honestly, they need 2 to 3 every game to win.
I heard a stat: when they get 2+ turnovers, they're 9-0. When they get less than 2, they're 1-6 or 2-6.
Plays exactly into what I'm saying. Yeah. And this is Judd's argument.
But we're gonna get 2 turnovers. We're gonna get 2 interceptions.
Yeah, looking last week at that limited game plan, don't know what Ben Johnson was doing. I gotta think he's got tons of shit dialed up for the Packers that he's been saving.
I think he wanted to win that game, but I think you're right. My thought is this, and this is just me thinking out loud here on the fly. He thought the Lions would kind of lay down. They were going to not play everyone so he could do a vanilla offense and get away with it because he didn't want to show too much because he wanted to save every bullet for this week. And it kind of backfired.
Because it's
and he didn't want to look completely like crap. So in the fourth quarter, he said, okay, we're going to put together some game plan that I really don't want to use maybe or do a little more than extra because clearly even our basic offense is not working because the Lions defense was trying.
It didn't make sense what they did. And defensively didn't make sense either. You know, and almost like, are we trying to like misdirect?
I think he thought he'd get an easy win where we might not like dominate, but we're going to win because they're not going to be have all their players, and we would just kind of like do what we barely had to do to win. And I don't care who you are. It doesn't matter if you're Tom Brady. If you don't play 100% when you're playing a game, you don't play right. Football is all about the feel and like how you can't half-ass football. You know?
No, I completely agree. And then also, I think you're playing a dangerous game. If that is the case, obviously we don't know, and he'll never know what truly was going through Ben's head going into that game. But if that was the case, you shouldn't even have played the fucking starters.
100%.
Because now you're risking injury. And that was like the one thing, too, with the Eagles resting, which we got to get into that, too. Fuck. But I have a lot of Philadelphia perspective on this. I've talked to 3 different people from Philly that are all diehard Eagles fans, including Shano. Yes, and if you guys don't remember Shano did call in last year for the Eagles Super Bowl, and I got his perspective. But
if anything, they should have played the first quarter.
But can you imagine if we would have lost, like, say, Swift, or we lost fucking Tooney
I'll say
somebody,
the Packers last year didn't play their starters, and they looked super flat in the first week of the playoffs.
So but
that doesn't mean you had to play in the whole game. You could have played them just the first quarter, maybe the second quarter. And if nothing else, then take them out, even though that's still a lot of time. That way, at least they saw the field, they got some action. Now sit them down. That's what I would have done. Once you knew Philly wasn't playing their guys, do that. If you want to play them for that way you could say they at least had some action so they aren't fully dead. But playing them the whole game and then the way it went did not look good.
As you were saying, like about the coming out flat thing, I have heard on at least 3 or 4 former players, and every single one has said play. Every single one, including what's the lineman for the Packers back in the day, Beluga or fucking the whale.
Yeah, Ryan Beluga.
Yeah, the whale. But even him, he was like, I just think that's you got to play. You got to stay in a rhythm. But what benefit is it to you to go out with a bad game plan, a limited game plan, and actually kind of even take a step back? Because now you're looking at 2 losses in a row. That's not really building momentum up. I guess you're on the field, you're staying in rhythm, but not really. I mean, I don't know. It was weird.
I hear you. I wouldn't have cared as much about us losing if we would have taken them out of the game, got them some game time, and then whatever. But the way that we played the whole game, and then we just turned it on super late for no reason at all, that did not look good.
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all.
But regardless, too, like, he actually did try to the run game early and then just abandon it, as he's been doing for a while. That is like one of my knocks on Ben. I love Ben. I think he's one of the top offensive minds in the game, probably top 3 to 5. That's it has potential to be top 2 in the league, but like sometimes he just abandons the run, and I don't get it because you're one of the best rushing teams in the NFL, and that's because of your scheme. It's because of your motions. It's because of all the weird looks and all the stuff you do. And like Caleb is much progress we've seen from Caleb this year. You don't want him to have the game in his hands all fucking game. Like you don't want it to be win or loss strictly because of Caleb. Give him some help. And by the way, Caleb will fucking produce once that run game is cooking. And maybe part of that too, for specifically the last game, and they will never ever say it, was wanting to hit that 4,000 yards. They'll never say that. They'll never say that because you can't say that, but kind of felt like it. The rush attempts were like in the teens. It was not a lot of rushes, dude. But here's one other thing, just to like the running game. Why it matters so much is the time on attack, the possession time of possession rather. Like it has been atrocious. That was 2-1 Lions.
Yep.
That's how you fucking what was it early in when they had like the longest drive of the year? I can't remember which game was that. Was that the Eagles? I can't remember who it was. I mean, it wasn't Eagles.
I think it was the Eagles.
But it was over 10 minutes. It was a super long drive, like an 18-play fucking drive. And, like, we were sitting here praising, like, God damn, this is fucking great, brilliant chess fucking football. And it seems like we're just getting further and further away from that. Again, maybe Ben is trying to save it for the playoffs.
I think he has to. He's too smart of a guy not to. Like, there's just no other explanation.
Well, even the smartest guys, they have chinks in their armor. Like,
So-
they make mistakes. I mean, everybody's got their Achilles heel.
Now, speaking of Ben Johnson for a quick second here, do you think he's one of the 5 finalists for Coach of the Year?
Sure.
They say, and Kevin Schaefer or the guy on NFL Network,
Sure.
I can't
Yeah, I
think of his
don't
name
know
right
either.
now. He said that right now he thinks it's Kyle Shanahan due to being able to be where he is, with losing his 2 best defensive players and still being able to put it together.
I don't think Ben is. I think Ben would have gotten Coach of the Year had he won his last 2 games.
What he said was if San Fran loses to Seattle, he thinks Ben will win it.
If San Fran loses to Seattle.
Because they're going to go up there and he goes, so if San Fran doesn't win a game and the Bears beat the Packers, he thinks the Bears, then he thinks Ben Johnson will win it then. I'll put it this way. He's really good.
He's really close.
This guy guesses are usually spot on.
I feel like with Ben, like, at least if you would have won one of the last 2, it would be really close. I think if you won both of the last 2, he is the Coach of the Year, especially with all the injuries. Like, the Bears are the most injured team in football. I don't want to hear, like, oh, well, it wasn't like a Micah Parsons level injury. Like, fuck that. They're the most injured team in football. If you actually watch the Bears closely every week, you know what they've been dealing with. There's a game or 2 where they had no starting linebackers. They were down, like, Nashawn Wright, who, was the leader for turnovers. I don't know if did he finish as the leader for turnovers?
I think so.
A guy who was on the practice squad for the Vikings last year. Like, what they have done with what they've had has been absolutely fucking amazing. I will say nobody predicted them at 11 wins. I predicted them at 10, but and so did Henry. But, like, they've come out of nowhere to most people. Like, and Ben's done an amazing job, but I don't think he's going to come out with it this year. If they would have finished with 12, he would be.
Yeah,
it would be a serious discussion. 13, he wins it.
It's a tough thing because, like, you could say Seattle because of how good they've done.
Dude, Seattle. Fuck, dude. Seattle. That defense, man. When you saw them hold the Niners to 3 after that shootout the week before, I mean, what did you think about that? I'm like, God damn, Seattle. All of a sudden, I went from like not taking them as seriously to,
I
it's
agree,
Darnold.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, as good as he's been, still is prone to having a 4 interception game.
But here's the hypocrisy: is I will sit there and be like, yeah, it's Sam Darnold, so I don't know if I can pick the Seahawks. But then in the very like previous breath, I would have been like, man, the Vikings should have kept Sam Darnold. Like the Vikings would be a playoff team if they kept Darnold. So I'm like, I don't want to shit on Darnold too much. I'm like, I'll split, kind of take middle of the road there. But I do think it is a bit of a limiting factor. And let's face it, like, this isn't fucking 2010 and before where defenses are everything. And the whole like defense wins championships. That thing's kind of out the window. It's like a mediocre defense and an elite offense wins championships. Just give me a mediocre defense, like a middle of the pack of ranked 15th defense and a number 1 offense. That's a Super Bowl winner. The goalposts have moved. The game's shifted. It's changed. And I do, Henry too. We got to touch on it because I brought it up earlier, but I did talk to all the Eagles fans.
Yes.
So I am so confused. What the fuck was Philadelphia thinking? Why would you say fuck the 2 seed potentially? By the way, and because the Bears lost and the Redskins, it was a 1-score game. Had they played the starters against a 4-win team, they likely won that game. They're the 2 seed. You're giving up potentially a home game. Why? What is the fucking logic in that? Can you think of the logic?
Because Nick Sirianni thinks he's smarter than everyone, and he probably wanted to sit his starters, and it's going to screw him over, and he's probably going to lose it for week 1.
Well, I don't get it.
I don't know what other reason there is because
It,
what are they? There's no way they're afraid
Okay.
of the Packers. Everyone said if the Philly played the Packers, including Packer fans, they would have lost.
I stream on Twitch, Packs on Fire on Twitch. If you want to follow me, gotta do the shameless self promotion. But my boy Shano, the one who was on the podcast last year, big Dropkick Murphys fan. Shout out Shano, love Shano. I was streaming, and he has permission, so he can hop in my Discord when I'm streaming any time. And I swear to God, it was like every 30 minutes for a 3-hour-long stream, he'd hop in like, "What the fuck is wrong with the Eagles? I don't fucking get it." And I talked to 2 other Philly fans that I also play with on NHL, and all of them, they're so confused. None of them could give me a real reason, and all they did was they had the same questions I did. Of, why are you trying to gift the Bears the 2 seed?
real.
I don't get it. It makes no fucking sense. You're defending Super Bowl champs. You need some rhythm too. I guess they have been hurt. They've had some issues. I don't know, man. I will say this: if Philly gets knocked out in the first fucking round,
Yeah.
do you think that they fire him?
Yeah, I could totally see it because Nick Sirianni's been on the hot seat even after he won the Super Bowl because he just has this flair about him that's not like it's one of those you love him when you're winning and you hate him when you're losing, including his own fans.
Well, and their OC is absolute trash. We're talking Nagy level trash.
They're talking about maybe if they could get rid of him and bring in like a Stefanski as their coordinator, if he'd be willing to take
I'd love that for them.
But that's then you're gonna have to pay him a lot to not be a head coach because he's already got head coach opportunities, even if he got let go by the Browns. That dude won 2 head coach of the year awards with the fucking Browns.
Yeah. No, I mean
That alone
he's
is a
legit.
like I know he got fired. I get it, but dude, you had to deal with the clown show this year. Deshaun Watson, Sanders, and Gabriel, and this whole show all year long. Joe Flacco trading him in division. Like you can't really blame the head coach for this. This is really the owners, and they're trying to get everything figured out. And the worst part is they still have next year. The cap hit on Deshaun Watson is $80 million.
God damn, there's so many ways I want to take this. But like the Browns, what a dumpster fire. Yeah, I needed to give you the wake up whiskey.
Yeah.
The whiskey wake up. But to pay Deshaun Watson, like the guy is clearly a fucking terrible human, number one. Clearly like a distraction, number 2. Like, what were you thinking?
It doesn't that to me will go down as the worst player profile. Not even like you signed the guy. He got you to give him that much money.
Well,
what analysis did you have? I want to know what was on the table that you said, okay, you know what?
Yeah, he only has 3,047 fucking women accused him of
like
SA.
this wasn't like you
know?
did this like right before the thing, or it was still like you didn't know everything. No, you knew everything.
Yeah,
You still did it.
well, you know what? It's kind of the NFL is so weird like that. Cheers, buddy. For those listening, that is a disgusting shooter. Buckhorn Black Cherry. No, it's actually like I actually like it better than Red Stag. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes,
it's
see?
way less sugary.
That's why I said that. Yeah.
But the NFL, and I was having this conversation. So I work with a Saints fan rather and a Cowboys fan. So we have different perspectives of the league. But one of the conversations we're having this week is like the NFL is just so fucking bogus in like how they handle like these off the field incidents. Like Ray Rice, terrible piece of shit, knocks a woman out in an elevator, drags her away. Right. Meanwhile, though, you have Tyreek Hill, who threw a pregnant girl down the stairs and then breaks the kid's arm after it's born. So he assaulted the kid before it was even born. Assaulted the kid twice that we know of. That's what we know of. And it's like, yeah, he's fine. Ray Rice, though, there's footage. So not fine. Deshaun Watson, like, does all of this against human women. Fine. Michael Vick, dogs, not fine. Like, and it's like, I just don't understand.
Yeah. Like after all this, I actually feel bad for Michael Vick in terms of what we're talking about.
Well, Michael Vick
I'm not
seemed to
condoning what he
No,
did,
what he did is fucking terrible.
But
No,
comparing it to like beating a human and like like come
again,
on.
The whole thing of like the hypocrisy and weird.
Where are the lines?
Let's just draw clear lines. And
What determines a level? Is what I'd like to
I
know.
don't understand. But and I got to credit Bernstein for this because they were going through the worst Packers of all time, and obviously, we know some of the names that made the list, but Bernstein always takes a fun turn. You know who his number one worst Packer was?
Who?
The I-5 killer, who's suspected of at least 4 murders. So this guy was in trouble. With his former team, where he got in trouble for exposing himself not once, not just multiple times. And they're like, finally, like, all right, we're cutting him. You got to stop exposing yourself to everybody. And the Packers are like, oh, fuck it, we'll give him a shot. Eventually, they do cut him. And then he goes on to murder. They suspected of at least 40. So the Packers, by the way, don't fucking talk shit because you are the worst. I'm just saying.
You are.
You are the absolute garbage and trash. I'm going to go ahead and make my Packers-Bears prediction. I'm going to go Bears 28, Packers 24. I will say I have only bet the Bears when I was sure they were going to win this year. And even last week I did have the Bears against the Lions. I put $50 down on it. Before the game started, the odds had shifted, and I pulled it out and made $1.74 on it. Because I was like, I don't know about this game. It feels weird. This how I feel about this Packers game. I'm not saying they're going to lose, but I would not put money on it. I think it's a true toss-up. I really don't know how to feel. I don't know because the Bears have shown me so much bad. I do think Jordan Love, after sitting out 4 weeks, who knows what you're going to get from him.
And that's the thing. You got to remember, too, we're on an 0-0. They've lost 4.
They lost 4 in a row.
So, and I'm not saying like.
They've done it with a backup. In fairness to them.
They are, but no offense, Malik Willis hasn't looked that bad.
I haven't paid close enough attention the last few games, but I will say against the Bears, he looked far superior. And statistically, that's just true. I mean, he had 130, 140 fucking passer rating against the Bears.
They're already talking about him getting he's going to get a starting position next year.
He 100% is. He's earned it too.
They're talking about him maybe going to the Dolphins. And then John Harbaugh going there maybe because they fired.
Well, I don't think Harbaugh's going there though.
They fired.
I don't think Harbaugh's going there.
Here's the reason why: his agent just became their GM or something.
So, okay, this is a fun one. A lot of potential firings, and we'll keep potential firings. So that means the Eagles, that means the Packers, right? Because LaFleur, if he wets the bed against the Bears. And I'm saying if it's actual blowout or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know because they have not re-upped his contract. He's only got a year left. He's going to be in that dead year next year, which no fucking coach wants to be in. He has a chance of being gone. The Eagles, with the questionable decisions they made, especially giving up the fucking 2 seed, just gifting it to the Bears, and then the terrible OC hire by their head coach. He's kind of I don't know, maybe. Harbaugh, though, I think he's favored right now to go to the Giants.
I heard that too. That was on Kalshi. They had him. He had the highest percentage to go there,
and he has not So this is why I'm putting the Eagles and the Packers on this, because he's talking to his agent, and he is not really talking to anybody until after this week. So he's waiting to see the Eagles, the Packers, teams like that maybe you're going to be like, all right. Because, the Packers, you gotta think, LaFleur's been there, this will be 7 years, right? And he's not giving them, they're expecting Super Bowl appearances in Green Bay. Do they win a lot of Super Bowls? No. But they've been to 3. They expect to be there consistently. This is 7 years. It's fair to put them on the chopping block. I think LaFleur's a good coach. I really do. But I think he is on the chopping block. So where do you think, say that the Eagles and the Packers both fire their coaches, the Giants are on the table, Miami's on the table, obviously, and those 2 are on the table. Which of the 4 do you think he would go to if all of them happen to be open?
Harbaugh, we're saying?
Yeah.
I think I see Jim is not as big of a flair guy as his brother. John, like Jim.
Yeah.
So I don't know that he would want the headlines of New York.
I don't think he wants New York at all. That's why I don't understand the Kalshi bets.
I know.
I don't think I would go to the Giants. You couldn't fucking pay me to go to the Giants.
Dude, and they're already talking about the college quarterbacks this year possibly waiting to not have to go to the Jets either. So
the Jets are the last place they want to go.
Here's the crazy part.
Besides the Browns.
And no wrong. Aaron Glenn seemed like a great guy. And I know they don't like to they're talking about firing people after 1 year. Well, hey, they did it in the Raiders. Aaron Glenn's a defensive coordinator, and the Jets had 0 interceptions this year. 0.
That's pretty fucking crazy. That's pretty crazy.
So that could be another job that, again,
if
I would not want.
If they're all open, the obvious answer to me is Philly.
100%.
The second option would be Green Bay.
Now, here's my other thing I got for you. I also heard, again, this isn't for sure, but McDermott, another guy like LaFleur. He's been there a while. He's really good. But if the Bills don't win it this year without the Chiefs,
squandering Josh Allen in a year where every good quarterback's gone.
Exactly. So McDermott, if he doesn't come out and win, at least get to the Super Bowl, there's a chance he could be fired. That's why they're saying Stefanski's waiting.
Well, how about this too? Tying this back to like the coach of the year thing. How about fucking the Texans?
I know.
That's a real good candidate there too. Because I'm not gonna lie, I remember in the beginning of the year kind of just shitting on the Texans.
D'Amico Ryan's a good coach.
Dude, the Texans that's a sleeper to fucking take it too.
They're that Monday Night Football for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that's a sleeper to take it for sure.
How would you like this script? If I was thinking about this the other day. They let Aaron Rodgers win by beating the Ravens with that absolutely diabolical end of that game. Chris Bosworth has missed one extra point in 4 years, and he misses one in that game. And then Tyler Loop, who hasn't missed a field goal inside 40 yards all year, shakes it 30 yards to the right.
Well, and gets consoled by the head coach that gets fired because of him.
And all that happens, and then Aaron Rodgers isn't making the playoffs. How crazy would it be? He's got 3 potential Super Bowl rivals: 49ers, his arch nemesis,
yeah,
Packers, and the Bears.
I'm not
one of us 3 versus him in the Super Bowl.
I
don't think they're gonna make it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not. The Steelers are not that good, but tell me an NFL script wouldn't be that.
Well, how about this too? Same thing with the Steelers. Talking about getting fired all year, and then all of a sudden they fucking squeak into the playoffs. I love it, dude. I'm not gonna lie. If the NFL is scripted, it's not. By the way,
Yeah.
It's not. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure
I know
there's
that
some tomfoolery going on
and all this. It's impossible to script that game.
No, but yeah, to think like, oh yeah, we're getting this is like taking the Kennedy assassination on steroids. Like, all right, we have 52 players on every roster, all the coaches, everybody. Yeah, we're all gonna fucking get on the same page to make certain things happen. Don't get me wrong. There's probably point
Way
shaving.
too many people involved.
There's probably point shaving. That shit's going on. But this year, the script has been fucking chef's kiss. Mwah.
No one is predicted to be a guaranteed
No.
to dominate out of all 14 teams in the playoffs. I can't bet on a single one of them. I can say for sure he's even going to win a game.
Would you agree with me though? Seattle has the easiest path to the Super Bowl.
In terms of yes, because our conference might be considered easier.
Well, yes, but also on top of that, the home field advantage to get in their stadium.
Yeah.
And defense travels. Well, sure, they don't need to. I guess they're at home. But defense in the playoffs, just in general, very good. The great home field. But even then, I don't feel great about because it's Sam Darnold.
Because you got to remember this too.
Can I get a beer or two, by the way? Sorry.
Yeah, the easiest schedules after the season, after you see the records. Because before the season, way different. But before the season, you had the Denver Broncos, the Bears, and the Patriots, all top 5 easiest schedules.
Yeah, that's what you just literally took the words out of my mouth. When you look at the best records in the NFL, it's a direct correlation to the easiest schedules, and that's Bears included. Sorry, Bears fans, that's fucking true. And that's why the Patriots and the Broncos. It's kind of hard to be super high on them because you look at that strength of schedule, specifically the Patriots. Did the Patriots have the easiest schedule? I believe.
I believe they did, and that's the funny part is no one talked to them like, oh, the Bears are the easiest schedule. I go, they were 5th. No one talks about Bo Nix and Drake May. And don't get me wrong, Drake May's looked like an MVP. Bo Nix looks like the exact thing Sean Payton wants. He fits a system to a T. He's a great quarterback. I don't think he's better than either Drake May or Caleb, though. The difference is, again, easier schedule, and he fits the Sean Payton system to a T. And that could win Sean Payton head coach of the year as well. Mike Vrabel's on that list as well. But
and Vrabel's had a great
again,
too.
We can all sit here and say easy schedule. In the end, NFL winning a game every week is hard. It doesn't matter who you play. And I know we're going to say that now being on that list, but it doesn't matter. You still beat you had to beat. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, this is another conversation I've had this week too. I'd love to bounce off you because I haven't had a chance to talk to you about it. But John Harbaugh was there for 18 seasons. 18. And that's a rarity. Him and Tomlin are fucking
same
unicorns.
division, 18 and 19.
Belichick, Tomlin, Harbaugh, like guys like this feels like what the Ravens are doing is what the Bears did when they fucking, got rid of Lovie Smith when he had 10 wins but missed the playoffs.
Yes.
It's changed for the sake of change. I hate it.
Because what I heard is,
the guy's
some
a
of the players
fucking
were
legend.
complaining about listening to the voice. It wasn't coming through as strong as it used to. I go, this
That's
is Lamar
stupid.
Jackson. They can say everything they want about Lamar and all that stuff they heard. Rumors say smoke starts from a fire, or fire starts from a smoke, or whatever the phrase is.
Yeah. I feel what you're trying to say.
Like they say, like when there's fire, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Smoke, there's fire. We got there, buddy. We made it. We made it there eventually.
And Lamar Jackson not showing up to practice, asking you to switch times so he didn't have to get up as early, not showing up. That doesn't just come out of nowhere, and it happened it was multiple weeks in a row. It was either him or Harbaugh, and they chose him, at least for now. Maybe they'll get rid of both.
But here's the thing. Yeah, I had heard rumors midway through the season they're going to get rid of both.
Send him to Miami, where he's from.
I think Lamar is one of the best quarterbacks the last 10 years. He is. There's no doubt about it. And if you don't think so, you're just not watching football, and you cannot like his style of play. I don't care. Lamar is fucking good.
Yeah.
But he's not a pocket passer. And like when they shut that run down and you force him in the pocket, he has issues. But more importantly than that, he is getting older. And the injuries are piling up.
You can see
and you run a
he
lot.
lost a step this year. He definitely did.
And this is why, to tie it back to the Bears, this is why I love Caleb. This fucking dude does not take a hit unless it's important. And this is why he's going to probably have a long career. And this is
no picks, no sacks. That's a key. That's a key to victory right there, long term.
100%. He does not take hits. He runs out of bounds. So sometimes it's 2 yards before in a regular season game. You're like, I really wish you'd have went for the first. But fuck that, because he's healthy and they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
And I want to be healthy in the playoffs.
And
Guess
that
who's
first
not
down
there?
that first down doesn't mean anything. The next three plays could be a 3 and out.
Oh, he said, who wasn't there? Guys that were supposedly better than him. Jackson Dart, fucking Jaden Daniels. Guess who didn't stay healthy? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Whoever wanted to talk crap after Jaden Daniels, phenomenal rookie season.
Right.
I'm not going to deny the numbers. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. 3 separate injuries. He is RG3.
Yeah, you literally took the words out of my mouth again. And by the way, I have no problem with Jaden Daniels. I don't think he's a
I don't either.
guy. I think I like him.
But this is exactly what they were worried about in college when he was in the draft. He got away with it his rookie year, not getting hurt. But this is exactly what they thought would happen.
What do they always say? The greatest fucking trait is, the greatest thing is availability over ability.
Yeah, the greatest ability is availability.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. See, between the two of us, we can almost put together
we got it.
Yeah. But no, I will say this though. This is shaping up to be, as an NFL fan, not as a Bears fan, as an NFL fan. This is shaping up to be one of the most exciting playoffs of all time.
I'm so excited.
We know going into a couple weeks ago, it was the most 11-win teams in NFL history. It's the most parity we've ever seen.
And good parity. Not bad parity. Like, yeah, I don't want the NFC South on 9 divisions.
Look,
and everyone, that always comes up too, by the way, real quick. Oh, we need to change the playoffs because the 7 and 9 Panthers shouldn't be hosting. Sorry. There's a reason for divisions, and I don't want to change it because if you do that, that screws up rivalries. That screws up connection with the fan. One of the biggest things with fans is I hate the Packers. They hate me. If they're not in our division, think about this. What happened when the Blackhawks and
the fucking Red Wings?
It ruined that.
It did ruin
that rivalry is ruined. It doesn't feel the same. If you do that in the NFL, you're going to ruin it just like the NBA did with their parity. Yeah. And it's just like
it's like Cubs, Cardinals, fucking Red Sox, Yankees.
You got to keep those rivalries together. And if you split divisions, it's going to screw it up.
And this ties perfectly to something you showed me before the show. And can you pull it up for the price of the tickets?
Oh, yeah.
So what Henry showed me before the show. So to show you guys how much rivalry matters, how much it drives audiences. So number one, first of all, Every network, as Henry had told me before, every network was bidding on the Bears and Packers. The reason they ended up on Saturday, there's a couple reasons, but one of the reasons was everybody wanted the Bears and Packers. They've only met in the playoffs 3 fucking times ever. Amazon bid was said $20 million to get that game.
Yep.
$20 million. Well, when you look at the price of tickets, which he's going to pull up in a second, like it's absurd. The price of Bears versus Packers versus every single other game. And why is this? It's because it's a rivalry game. So put in perspective here. So you have Houston, Pittsburgh, whatever. They're at the very bottom. That's $165 a ticket. Carolina and the Rams, $167. You go all the way up to the Buffalo game. That's $199 a ticket. It's almost $200. Yep. The Bears versus Packers. The average ticket price right now, $448. $448. When the next highest ticket price was $200. $450 versus $200.
Double plus.
You need the rivalries.
You do.
It's good for sports. And look, outside of football season, I actually love Wisconsin. I love my friends in Wisconsin. I love going to Wisconsin. I love cheese. I'm a big fan of cheese. As well. It just happens that I want a great cheese for a few months out of the year. That's all. That's it. So yeah, rivalries are super important. I guess maybe that's one final fun thing to kind of run on too is the cheese grater.
So the cheese grater hats that were sold this company out of Houston. This is how they started. I don't know if I talked about this, but
you didn't talk about. Judd and I did touch on it last week when you weren't here, I'm sorry, not last week. It's been a couple weeks.
So
but go ahead and touch on it. Tell them the story.
This company was making cheese heads, and they got a cease and desist letter from the Green Bay Packers to stop making their version of the cheese head. So what did they do? They made the cheese grater hat. Well, I've seen it before randomly back in the day here and there.
This is the first year I've seen it prevalent.
Yeah, but this year, after DJ Moore and then Caleb wore them back-to-back days on social media.
And Caleb wore it the next day at a charity event. Or
and Caleb wore it the next day with him and PCA for the Cubs doing a charity event.
Yes.
Between those days, they sold over 4,000 hats. The back order is till February.
And then the beauty was the next week the Packers played the Ravens.
And the Ravens decided to wear them
as well. And the Ravens wore the hats too.
And now Packer fans are crying across the league. Oh, I can't believe you're wearing these hats. You guys wear cheese on your head. All right? I don't want to hear
that is fair. By the way, in fairness, like in defense of Packers fans, every NFL fan, like the Bears people who dress up as a giant fucking bear, all of it is fucking dumb. Or the Vikings fans who wear like, all their ridiculous gear. The Raiders fans with the spikes, shoulder pads, shit. You all look stupid. You're never getting pussy. I'm going to be honest with you. You're never getting pussy. You can love the Bears. You can love the Raiders. You can love the Packers, but you're never getting laid.
How about the Philadelphia cream cheese by our Philly fans?
That's pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. So, I have to bring this up too. I'm sorry. Another one was with the Eagles. Shit, I'm losing my train of thought. Sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
No. I was gonna say I was gonna talk about something else, but we were talking about Philly with the Philadelphia cream cheese.
Yes.
And we were talking about them looking ridiculous.
I completely lost it. It's fine.
Damn.
I completely lost it. I had a good one with Philly, but it doesn't matter.
No, I was gonna say. So, did you guys know that this means bear in sign language?
Really?
Yes.
So when Caleb does
the
cold.
Iceman, that actually means bear.
Yeah, but he didn't like what they did with Stranger Things and trying to find 20 different alternate things here and
I'm just telling you,
Vecna held his hands this way, so therefore
it's all a plot twist. It's all fake.
Yeah, we're trying to find meaning where there is none. I kind of feel like that's a little bit of what it is. It's also kind of like when Ben Johnson was saying certain things or taken out of context from Lions fans and Packers fans, and it's a dig at us. It's no, it's actually him trying to motivate his players.
Sorry, Lions fans, you're mad that your real offensive coordinator left, and Dan Campbell is a great coach, but
Campbell is great.
Maybe not as good on offense as you thought.
I will say
that's not our fault.
Okay, hey, way too early prediction. What do the Lions finish next year? This is a one-off. They're coming back.
I'm going 9-9.
No.
I'll give you 10-7.
I'm going to go 11.
Here's why.
Lions are back.
Do you see
next
David
year.
Montgomery is already requesting out?
Yeah, but Dave Montgomery, it's a running back. They have a shelf life of a couple years.
I know, but
Saquon and guys like that are kind of
I'll
like
say this.
unicorns. Adrian Peterson.
I watched some Detroit podcasts, and some of the guys hosting it are a little concerned that now this is 2 coordinators in a row, including Ben Johnson, where Dan Campbell took the offense away. Now, when he gave it back to Ben excelled. He gave it back to the other guy. It did not work. The guy they currently have.
I think Dan Campbell, again,
but I love
Jim
Campbell as a
Harbaugh
coach.
thing. No, dude, so here's the thing.
Taking away your offense coordinator and you don't give it back where it works, it looks really bad.
Here's the thing, and like Detroit fans have gotten very loud, much like the Bears fans did this year, in fairness to them. But we've always had like a backdoor alliance with Detroit. Like whenever we see our Lions fans, like we're like, all right, as long as you beat Green Bay, I'm rooting for you. And the amount of Detroit fans I've talked to is like, all right, we're out. So fuck the Packers, dude. Get them. And we've always said that with, like in Detroit was always like, like, hey, man, I'm rooting for you. Because as a Bears fan, two of my favorite non-Bears players of all time, Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson.
The two,
Matt Stafford, I love too, in fairness.
The top 2 earliest retired players that should not have retired, but had to.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the Detroit was run like the Browns for so many years, but you had a couple just amazing guys. It sucks to squander the talent. Honestly, you could even make the fucking case about the Bears. Like Peyton should have won a couple more Super Bowls.
Can you imagine the Bears gauntlet this year? That could go this way. Green Bay, Matthew Stafford, San Francisco, and then Aaron Rodgers. If it all played out,
yeah,
could be our path.
Hey, in a super Bears-centric universe,
that would be
the coolest shit of all time.
If we won them all, 100%. But
then Aaron Rodgers beats the Bears on a Hail Mary. Honestly, no, but that's the most likely outcome of somehow they do it. I hate it. You know what? Honestly, again,
that's why I love the playoffs this year, because that scenario, I'm not saying is going to happen. That's a lot of what ifs.
It will never happen.
But it is possible.
But no, if you made that parlay, you bet $1, you literally out fucking like earn Jeff Bezos from here on out.
It's all scripted. I know the parlay.
Yeah, that's Henry's parlay. So go ahead and put your mortgage on that one.
No. I do got some parlay picks. I don't have them on me now. I'm gonna post them individually on a self-vid tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Dude, check those out. And honestly, I'm going to check them out too.
Yes.
I will say this year, again, I have killed it. Like in my bets. And I'm not betting a lot, because I hate sports betting because I know how fucking
awesome and horrible it is at the exact same time.
Things can go, when, I don't know, the 49ers can put up like 42 one week and then 3 the next. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen in the NFL.
You don't.
Well, when fucking a backup quarterback for the Ravens can beat the Bears, who are just steamrolling in the middle of a fucking win streak, you just don't know what's going to happen in the NFL. But I have done very well betting on the Bears, and I will say this week I'm not putting money on them. I'll put 5 on it.
There we
I
go.
have to.
I'll put 5 on it.
That's right. Well, is there anything major else you want to talk about?
Real quick, not that we're not, we're all full Bears centric.
Well, we got to do the Cubs.
Cubs.
Yeah.
We take 30 seconds. Edward Cabrera, great trade. Yeah, everyone get mad. We traded Owen Casey, our number 1 prospect. We gave away Christian Hernandez, a AA middle infielder, which we have 10 good prospects of, who has yet to really make the next step he was supposed to make in the last 2 years. And some guy I've never heard of, which is a win. So it's a win for us, guys.
They needed pitching.
We needed pitching. We got a guy who can throw 97 with 2++ exterior pitches. His changeup, which is a changeup that he throws at 93 miles an hour, which is insane. And his curveball are top 5 in the league. Both rated top 5. So you take those guys, take those pitches, you add into our rotation, which now solidifies Cade Horton coming back healthy, Justin Steele coming back at some point, Shota being your 5, and Jameson Town being your 4. We got our guys. We got our bullpen slowly but surely. Hobie Miller, a few of the other guys we've signed. We brought back I can't think of the name. The guy with the good curve, the lefty.
Yeah.
We brought back him. We did let go of Keller, a couple of the guys, but here's next step. We go get a good bat. Comes off season, all of a sudden looks like a real success.
Reforming the pitching staff in general. Like
we did
to win.
We got bullpen.
And like
we got a top starter.
As
That's
we
a
talked
win.
about on the way in too, you also have like Justin Steele coming back.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know?
Steele's a top 5 pitcher when he's healthy. So you got him coming back. You sign and you go get a top 5 pitcher potential in the league with his stuff. Now go get a bat. Watch out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm fairly optimistic about the Cubs next year, and I was not optimistic about the Cubs this year.
Yeah,
I wasn't. I
But
really
going to get
wasn't.
This pitcher, they finally did the thing that we all wanted them to do for the last year and a half. Finally, gives me hope.
And hey, and any Green Bay fans, by the way, who are talking shit about the cheese grater hats, just remember the L flag.
You wear cheese.
No, remember the L flag when the Brewers won.
Yeah, that
so,
too.
Eat a dick.
Also, real quick, Hawks won 4 out of 5. They're getting ready. Connor Bedard back in a week or 2, they said.
Which is huge.
Yes. And on top of that, we beat the Blues last night 7-3. Ha, St. Louis.
Yeah.
We crushed, and our offense is really starting to come together. Nick Lattis, another young stud. Anton Frondell, who's not even here yet, dominating in tournaments. Watch out.
And hopefully it's going to be 5 weeks before we start focusing on those teams again.
Yes, we got 5 weeks.
Let's face it.
This is all we're going to talk about.
We're a Bears-centric podcast.
We got 5 minutes for these two teams. This will be more centric after the season, but right now, too good a football to worry about it.
We don't give a fuck because Chicago is a football town. And, except for
outside of Buzella's dunks, Bulls who?
Oh, God.
Go
Bears. Buzella's. All right, boys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Judd will be back. Maybe not next week because he's still doing the Arboretum, but
well, you'll get us
soon.
next week for sure.
And maybe even we could bring in a couple of my buddies here from other towns too as the playoffs progress. So I love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we will see you soon. Go Bears.
You gotta go.
I got a call the other day. She's got a baby in them guts, and I've been praying to some God.